If you guys have some wine or some champagne or anything, bring it out.
This is a new norm, right? We're like Zoom everything.
So these are Albert's questions. So maybe you could have Albert's questions and I'll have yours. So let's get started, and I'm gonna pick one question, and then it'll be your turn. But one good question here that I like is.
Well, there's a lot of good questions. Nice.
Yeah. This is a good one for you.
It was really good.
Balancing technology and exposure in regards to the kids. Like, and I know I'm really
like
big on that.
YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, like I really like Italia being on YouTube, being on her iPad, because I think kids could learn a lot. You know, like a lot of parents, they're just, I mean, we're gonna be pretty transparent. So there's just a lot of stupid parents out there, and they're saying we're gonna take away their iPhones, their iPads. We're not gonna let the kids do this, do that, and then the kids are just being like, they're not gonna grow as smart as the kids that have the technology. So there's gonna be some parents that are gonna be like, wait, let me get my kid an Instagram account. Let me get my kid to master YouTube. Let me get my kid. There's a lot of millionaire kids with YouTube channels. So I think it's not smart if you're taking away the iPhone or the iPad away from, maybe measure the time that they're on it. But what do you think?
So this is the thing. You want your kids to be obviously caught up with technology without giving them. YouTube could be dangerous. What we did was I went and looked at all her channels, because I was telling Albert, one day she's watching YouTube and I hear this little girl fighting with her little brother. It was really weird. It took us one whole week to take away this behavior. She was running up to my daughter's bassinet and shaking it and scaring her, and I was like, where is she getting this from? So then I realized she was watching this weird YouTube channel. It's from the UK. It's a dad with her 2 kids, and they fight a lot. So kids are like little sponges. So I would say monitor it. You can censor a lot of things on YouTube Kids. You can actually be in full control of what your kids are listening to and watching. But Italia, for example, she's a really fast learner. You know, sometimes the other day we're recording her YouTube channel and she's like, it's a beautiful day outside. And I was like, what? Like, who says that, right? This is a little 3-year-old, 3 years old and 3 months. Like, she's a little baby, but they hear and they see everything that's going on around them. That's why him and I are very mindful of not only what we say in front of her, but making sure we don't fight around her, because, you know, that breaks your child's security. But that's like a whole nother topic. So I would say let them be familiar with technology. Just don't give your kid the iPad for 5 hours because you want them to leave you alone, because the time that they spend with you is very important as far as them being molded into, you know, good little humans and whatever you want them to grow up to be, which, you know, you have to instill good morals. I always say, please, thank you to everybody, anywhere and everything. She sees the way we treat people, how we say hi to everybody, and that's important as well. So let your kids use the iPad. My daughter knows how to do everything on her iPad.
And a little off topic, but I take Italia to the office all the time. Like, I like having her with me, because nothing wrong with nannies, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunts, but
we should cross them out as we answer them so we could get to all of them.
But she likes to interrupt me. But it's different what they're going to learn from them than what they learn from mama and papa.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Syl's really smart. I'm a little bit smart. And I like Italia to be like me. I like Italia to be like Syl. But they could learn something from everybody. But they have to take advantage of technology because they're growing up with technology. And there's a lot of really young Driven followers, like people that go to Driven events, Driven Business Bootcamp. There's a lot of people here that are 18, 19, 20, and then we go all the way up. But our main audience, something that you have to be very, very, pay a lot of attention to it. Who's your audience? Because there's a lot of people right here that your niche, your audience is going to be the millennials. There's people here that are going to have a different niche. Some of you are going to have mostly women, mostly men. So you have to pay attention to that, so that you focus, double down, triple down on your niche. So for example, for me, it's men, millennials, and Hispanics. And it's gonna be different for everybody, but you have to know who your niche is. That's why you have to track, measure, and focus on who's providing you the best results and focus on that. You want to ask another question, and then
Yeah,
you're going to text
let me
me
get a good
some
one.
questions, Steph?
Oh, well, we'll answer this one really quickly. Do you want more kids? I'll be really honest. I feel that we live in a crazy world, and raising kids successfully and in a way that they're going to be amazing little humans, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of work, a lot of effort. So I definitely want my Enzo, but if I do have another child, I'm going to probably have a surrogate mother, and I'm probably going to make sure it's a boy because I don't want more than 3 kids. Kids are a lot of work. And that's just my opinion. That might change because I don't know how awkward it might be, you know, for like your husband to be like rubbing the surrogates. I don't know. I just think it's weird.
I mean, am I gonna be able to have sex with her?
No.
So then, I mean, I wouldn't be.
Anyway,
cool with
we're super raw, guys. But like that's the way that I think. And going through pregnancy, like I haven't had any issues. I'm the same person. I work just as hard. I get up. I dress up. I'm the same. I'm sure you guys can notice, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And I don't allow myself, because I don't have issues wearing heels. I love my heels. I always like to dress up. So I do want another kid. I love, like, Berlin is so cute. Italia is so cute. And little tiny babies are the best. So, well, you guys stay tuned for that. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people always say, I'm not going to have a kid because I'm not ready, because
you're never
I have
ready.
to be ready financially. I have to be ready, prepared. Everything has to be perfect, organized. And that's a big lie. That's not true, because when we had Italia, when you were pregnant,
Yeah.
I mean, financially, I didn't have the money that I have in the bank today. I didn't have the companies that I have today. I could barely afford that Ferrari. So I went out and I said, you know what? I'm going to go get motivated. I'm going to go check out cars. And I remember I bought a bottle of champagne with Willie, and we went out there and we went to Bentley first because he wanted to check out the Bentleys. And then we said, well, let's look at the Aston Martins. And then I said, well, let's go check out the Lambos. And then I said, I really like Ferraris. Let's go look at the Ferraris. And this is when you had just gotten pregnant. And I said, if I don't get this right now, I'm never going to get it. And I pictured myself being broke again with my daughter and living in my one bedroom that I had. And then I pictured myself, wait, what if I get a Ferrari and I get inspired and I work harder, and then we live in Beverly Hills, and then we live this amazing life. And then I just got it, and I told you, hey, and I was a little bit buzzed, right? But yeah. I texted you and I told you, hey, they just asked me for a $5,000 deposit. They were just going to run some numbers. And then later, when I'm prepared, they were going to call me back and I could go finalize it. They were going to keep my $5,000 that I gave as a deposit, right? And then I remember they called me. They told me right there, oh, you didn't qualify quite yet, but we're going to see what we can do. And like maybe in a week, we'll call you back. And then they called me back a couple days later. And then I remember I had an assistant. She was so bad. And this is another thing. Like you're going to run through one assistant, two assistants, three assistants. And some assistants are going to be really bad and you're going to have a bad experience. My bad experience was I paid my assistant, my first one, it was $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, something like that.
Plus bonuses.
So you could imagine how bad of an assistant it is if you're paying her that much.
We can't go too much off topic because we have a lot of questions.
You interrupt me a lot.
I'm letting you know.
This is the second time. No more than 3 times, because I'm gonna block you. So I get this assistant, and this assistant was so bad. Like maybe she was trying her best, but she was so bad. She couldn't do one thing right, but she did one thing right. She bought me a fake key from Amazon, a Ferrari fake key from Amazon, and and that's because I asked her to do it, but she was able to find it, which I was kind of surprised. And then she got me that key, and then I promised to myself, I'm gonna get this Ferrari by 35, and this was when I was 32, and it took me 2 months because of that fake key, and then we named Italia after the Ferrari 458 Italia. Yeah. And that's how Italia was born. And then we figured out that we could do more with Italia, and then we had another baby, Berlin, and then we figured out we could. So every time we have another kid,
yeah, we
increase our revenue like by a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just keep having kids.
No,
especially if you're gonna keep looking like hotter every time we have a kid.
He's too much. Just the other day, he's like, hey, Syl. So that you guys know, because we don't lie. We're like pretty raw. The other day, he's like, hey, you have to do stairs today, don't forget. And I was like, what? I'm like, are you telling me that I'm fat? Like, is that what you're trying to tell me? Like, I was like, what? Like, Berlin literally is 6 months old, guys. I don't gain a lot of weight, right? But we kind of hold each other accountable. I'm like, well, you don't look so good yourself, so I don't see no abs. So, like, don't be telling me to get in shape. Yeah, but anyway, like, I know it's just that sometimes, especially with everything going around, it's easy to make excuses. And I don't eat bad, really. I already feel like I'm getting buzzed. See, I'm a lightweight too, so
Well,
let's move to
You're drinking very fast.
So anyway, you have to hold each other accountable because we have a lot of relationship questions. So I really want to get through a lot of them, guys, because we're here to help you guys. And I believe that you should listen to the people, not that you want to be like. I'm not saying that you guys should want to be like us, but just to let you guys know, full disclosure, it takes everything that you have, and you do have to be on the same page with one another. And if you haven't found a spouse yet, or you're in a relationship, make sure it's the right partner, because life will be that much harder if you don't have the right person next to you. I'll let you guys know right now. And you don't have to be in the same business or do the same things, but you do have to have the similar goals or know of each other's goals. And more than anything, if you're going to be a parent, you have to understand that your kids, you're literally their heroes. So you have to lead by example, if that makes any sense. So ask another question.
We have a question from Zoom.
Okay.
Janet Medina. So she's asking, being in business with your spouse, how do you learn to argue better not in front of your team? And I know this what is this for?
To cross off the question.
I can't cross out my iPhone.
Oh, it's on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like this is like we're here to be completely transparent. We don't that's how I am. Syl sometimes like doesn't like to say too many things because she's concerned about how people perceive her. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care if people don't like me, because I know that 90% of the people are going to like me for who I am, and I'd rather like myself. And 10% of people are going to hate. They're going to make up stories, and they're going to they still follow me. But so, hey, 90% of people like me, and I'm there for those people. But we kind of argue a lot in front of people. Like, we don't.
It's not that we argue. It's just that I'm like, no, like, I need a fast answer. Like, we don't have all day. Like, let's get it together. Like, what are we doing here? Because there's so many things. See, when you're scheduled, I see a question here. Do you always schedule out your day the night before, and do you journal? See, now it's like we have extra help for scheduling. Steph does a great job at that. And sometimes things get crossed, and it just makes everything that much harder, because when you're late to one appointment and you have back to back to back to back, mind you, I'm also nursing my daughter, so I revolve around her schedule. It is a little bit hard sometimes, but you should always have appointments in your calendar that you're keeping no matter what. And for the ladies that are asking me, how do you have time for yourself and not feel guilty? You have to make an appointment with yourself, whether it's getting a massage, being away from your kids, being away from your husband, because I see all these questions.
Yeah, but you're skipping through all of them.
No, I'm not skipping through them. It all ties in together.
If you really think about it, like, we fight all the time.
But not like fight.
Like friendly fights.
Yeah, like friendly, and then we come home and we're like perfect.
Sometimes leads to like happy hour.
Which is true.
But like it's because we both have strong personalities.
Yeah, we do.
And you wake up. See, like, one thing that you guys have to understand is, like, I wake up like almost like a full day before Syl. So I'll wake up.
Which is a freaking lie, because I go to sleep a full day after you. Last
time you woke up like at 8.
When? On Sunday?
And I've been up since 1.
Albert, well, that's your own problem.
And then you wake up at 8.
I'm like, are you bragging or complaining?
You wake up at 8 and you're like, Albert, blah, 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 blah. You're like, we got to do this. And I'm like, I've been up for 7 hours working. You just woke up and now you're like all
so,
like.
I'll be honest. My kids, moms know this. They wake up sometimes. Sometimes my kids wake up at 5:30. Sometimes they wake up at 6.
Well, Talia wakes up early.
See, guys, for the most part, the dad can get up and do his regular life. For the most part, a lot of things don't change for the father, right? I sometimes have to wait for my nannies that are running late. 8 o'clock is late. I'm not gonna lie, but I get up sometimes at 6, sometimes 5:30. Like, now I have 2
sometimes
kids, not
9.
just. Babe, never, ever. You're such a liar.
I mean, there's been a few times you woke up at 9. By the way, everybody on Instagram, text the
Wow.
number so I can
Wow.
send you the link because we're gonna cut Instagram off.
So he's also really bad at like telling time and things like that. Like he'll be like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And an hour goes by and I'm like, where are you? Like it's been an hour and you said 5 minutes. Like I need details to make things work.
Yeah, but I
So
also
don't be mean to me.
I also have these amazing workouts. Like I never, one thing like very important for all of you is to have your non-negotiables.
Yes, yes.
So my non-negotiable is my workouts. I'm not gonna skip my self-improvement. I'm not gonna skip my 1 hour and 15 minutes of weightlifting, and I'm not gonna skip my minimum 30 to 40 minutes of cardio every single day except one day. So one day out of the week, I take a day where I just completely go reckless. So I eat McDonald's.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I have beer, French fries, all of that stuff. But six times a week, I have my same routine where and my routine is the same every day. The only difference when I go when I have my cheat day is I skip my workout, but I still do self improvement. I still do my self improvement. I work, but I just skip the workout, and I cheat with food and all that stuff.
How do you stay motivated? Like that. We just make everything work. And we don't allow the excuse of time or whatever.
So see you guys Instagram. Say bye to Instagram.
Text us.
Text if you want to get the link.
And for me, how do I stay motivated? I'm very clear on my goals. I know I want to be the best mom, the best wife, the best business owner. I want to be the best dressed. I always want to be the best. But that's just how I am. Like if I'm doing something, I make sure I give it my best. Like I research, I do my homework. I don't make excuses, right? And that's how I stay motivated because I like having a good life. And I'm not saying that I wasn't happy before. It's just you have to work and work and work, and you just go in levels and levels and levels, and each level is going to take more of what you have.
Talk about levels because that's important.
Yeah, well, and it keeps you motivated because now it's like we don't have a choice. We have a lot of people that work for the company. We have a lot of people that depend on us, that are relying on us. Like right now, getting everybody through COVID and their actual state of mind, which don't watch the news. Like we're kind of leading everybody in a direction. I'm already getting buzzed, guys. Sorry.
You keep saying that.
I know, but I don't know why I'm so like I'm not nervous, but I just feel like maybe I'll just won't drink no more.
You look a little nervous.
Because I have so much information, and I think we had not that much time left. But keep going.
How do you motivate your partner to participate more? Well, talk about the levels first. 'Cause
Levels.
That's really important. Like somebody was asking me this morning because I had like 5 Zoom calls today.
Yeah.
And somebody was asking me, and by the way, right now it's 7:22 right here, and I'm a
We had a full
little
day.
worn out. I'm a little bit exhausted. I had a long day already because I wake up really early and I do a lot. But and so do you. The only thing is that you do a lot like later in the day. And so I've been doing a lot like earlier in the day.
He likes to tease me because I think he likes to upset me. But Albert, do you
somebody-
change Berlin's diaper in the morning? Do you nurse her? Do you get Italia ready? Do you put her brush her teeth? Thank you. Like the dads don't realize all of
That's
this
roles.
stuff.
So we'll talk about roles in a bit. But somebody asked me about. They didn't ask me, but I was telling them levels. If you're in level 1, focus on getting level 2, level 3, level 4. Somebody might be at level 5, and Billionaire Bob might be at level 17, for example. Most people are negative levels, meaning most people are not that bright, and it's just like
And it's okay because you could always get better.
yeah,
You
like
have to
90
self-improve.
like 99% compared to the 1%ers. So that's why a lot of people talk about the 1%ers, and it takes a lot of work to get into the 1%ers. So the problem with most 99% of the people are that they're too focused on how do I become a millionaire, and they have yet to make 100 grand.
Yeah.
So focus first on making 100 grand. First get a job. There's a lot of these Instagrampreneurs, and they don't even have a job, and they want to make those million. So why not get a regular job or a second job and make 50,000, then focus on doubling. So every year you double. You go from 50 to 100, from 100 to 200, from 200 to 400, 400 to 800, and that's how I did it. I stopped comparing myself. There's this influencer guy out there, and I'm not going to mention any names, but you guys could probably connect the dots. But influencer worth hundreds of millions, has apartments, and I was comparing myself. How can I be this guy? And then I started thinking, well, I'm half the age, and why am I studying him where he is today? Why not study him on YouTube and go back 5 years so I can catch him in the cycle where I am today? So then I go back 5 years and I'm like, oh, wait, look, 5 years ago he used to be here. I relate more to this, and that's going to teach me what he did right and what he did wrong. I'm going to skip all that thanks to technology, YouTube, and I'm going to study his past, and it's going to allow me to do it faster than he did it. So focus on where you are today. David, like where you are today, you're young, you have a lot. I had a great conversation with you, so you know where you are right now. So focus on getting better, double each year. And dude, you have so much of an advantage because you're so young. You could be where all these big level influencers are in 1/3 of their age.
Best strategy to divide and conquer work tasks when being married and business partners. So he has his roles and I have my roles, and then we have everybody in the office who has their roles. But more than anything, we know that when we come home, like if we ever get into any kind of disagreement, maybe I don't agree with what he's saying. What we do is obviously when we get home, it's done, it's over, and then we pick it back up where we left off for work the next day. So that's very important to be able to separate the two, because I know a lot of my girls on Instagram send me messages that work with the husband, and they get very emotional, and you can't take it personal. Work is work, and it's just work. And when you come home, you have to be a family. You have to be an example for your kids. So we just do. I don't know. We don't ever really stay mad at each other. I think 2 times I've been really mad at you. One time you slept in the couch, right?
Well, that was probably the day that I got really like fucked
Yeah,
up.
like I was furious. I was happy he was alive, but I was furious. So
And that was a while ago.
that was a long time. Yeah, like I would say it's been what? A good since
I mean, it
Italia.
happens. Like, we're not perfect. People think that we're like people lie, and they say that they're really into they're really into God and being so good, and they don't drink, they don't do drugs, and they're perfect, and it's a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
And that's not going to help anybody. Like, that's why I say things like, hey, I tried drugs, I tried cocaine, I got DUIs, I got in trouble, I got incarcerated for DUIs, for fighting in the streets. And I think that that's going to help people, like maybe people like that are younger and that are growing up, and they're like, do I have to like sleep with a lot of girls and party and get crazy so that later when I'm 30, I don't regret it that I didn't have 1,000 girls and I only had one girl.
You have another good
and I
question.
didn't know all that. So like whatever you want to ask, anything, like I want to just answer it like straight from the heart and just 100% like real. I want to be a real person. I never want to be a faker that just
That's
pretends
right.
everything. Let me ask a question.
So
from you.
really quick, this ties into what he was just talking
Go ahead.
about. How do you and Syl manage giving each other healthy space without waiting till things blow up? Sundays, not always can I have my Sunday to wake up. And what I mean by wake up whenever I want, it's probably like 7 or 7:30, which is still early to a lot of people. To me, if I can wake up on a perfect day, go to sleep at 11 and wake up at 7:30, I'm happy, I'm good. But that's not the case when you have kids. Like, you're basically on their time. So Sundays, he takes Italia. Berlin's easy because she's little. And I can actually just chill and get up slowly. Like, our life is very, very high paced, which means every 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, our schedule's like back to back to back. Now we're having our assistant send our schedule the day before and the morning of, because there's things that get booked in advance, weeks, months. So it's definitely hectic, but that's to answer.
Let me give you a question from Zoom.
Go.
How do you motivate your partner to participate more or join your business? So like maybe talk about the story of how, like, this is a question from me too. Like, why were you like after maybe 1,000 girls that I dated?
He's showing off.
Like,
I don't know about 1,000.
Okay, maybe worst case 800. Okay, out of the 800 girls, like, why were you the only one that would go to the gym with me like at 3 a.m. Would go with me to the office and stay there late when I was cold calling, would go and hike like crazy hikes in the sun.
'Cause I'm down
why
for
did you always
whatever.
do all of that, like for me? Because I'm sure you didn't do it for your other dude.
Wow, my other dude was into different things, and I actually have always been fascinated with you because he's a lot like me. We're very similar. He's just a lot like more like crazy. I'm more like organized. Like I like to know the details so that I can make the phone call and have everything in front of me. He's more like, let's just do it. Let's like power through it. And I like working out. I like looking good. You know, even before I knew, and I'm not saying like everybody to each his own. If you're happy, however you're happy, just make sure you're actually really happy, because a lot of people would rather kind of give themselves an excuse to make yourself feel better. But can you be a little healthier? Can you make better choices? Can you possibly not drink Coke because it's horrible for you? Like, there's just things that I feel like people, you give in so easily that what if you just stuck to the things you said you were going to do? Like me, it's like I would run because I didn't know how to work out. Only like workouts and magazines. He actually was like, oh, let's go lift weights. You didn't teach me. You didn't teach me, Albert. I have to teach him how to do proper form for the record.
When I met you, like, have you seen your pictures? Like when we went to Virgin Islands, how did you look in Virgin Islands?
Albert, I did that, not you.
Yeah, but who trained you?
Who stopped drinking for a year?
Who did
I did.
Yeah.
I did. You didn't make me.
Because I told you not to drink for a year.
God. Anyway, so, you know, it's all about choices and sticking to the things you say you're going to do, like being committed. Like if you say, I'm going to work out 3 times a week, I'm not saying go full on and go 7 days, like right off the bat, because you're going to give up, you're going to burn out. Make little tiny changes, which that'll be in our VT. I'm working on all of our recipes. I don't like cooking. I actually hate it, but I will do it. Especially now, like, who makes you breakfast every morning? That's what I thought. Who makes you dinner every night almost now? That's what I thought.
You're doing good.
That's what I thought. So anyway, I just liked it. Like, I like being better. I like getting smarter. I like challenging myself, right? It is a lot more challenging now when you have kids because it's just another job. Moms are like the real MVPs. Stay-at-home moms, like my hats, everything off to you guys. I was stuck here two weeks with my kids when our whole office went to go work from home. That was very hard. Both of our nannies were dead sick. I'm like, no, just don't show up. I got this. And then I was like, what the hell? I need to get out of here. Like, I'll catch COVID. Like, just let me leave. It was so hard.
Well, it was crazy about that. Like when the whole COVID thing happened, I asked myself 2 questions. Because first of all, I didn't believe in it. I didn't want to participate into it. And then I remember when they closed, what made me like kind of like doubt myself a little bit was when I saw outside and it was empty, Nobody. Cars, no people, and they shut down everything. Like everything outside was shut down.
Yeah.
And I said, what the hell is happening? And for a moment, just hear it. And I don't watch the news. I never turn on the TV unless I'm gonna watch something that's gonna teach me something.
Like what's right now that we were watching?
The Michael Jordan documentary.
Amazing, guys. Go watch it. It's so good.
Really good. So I never hear any of that. But when my mom came, when some family members and people that are close, they would tell us, did you hear about this? You're going to get sick. The world's coming to an end.
Yeah.
And just hearing so much of that and not even watching the news because the news is full of a bunch of crap.
Yeah, it's media. It's all programmed.
For one day, I remember that day that I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, are we going to are the haters finally right? Is this the end of Albert? Am I going to have to close down my shops? Am I going to have to let go of all my employees? Like, what's going to happen? Maybe this is the end. Finally, maybe the haters were right. And then I said, for that day, I remember Steph brought me a bottle of 1942 tequila, and I had like 8 shots. I collapsed in the sofa. I woke because I just didn't. I needed to like get out. Next morning, I have a call with Bobby Castro that lasted 2 hours, and it was the most powerful conversation I've had in my life. And he told me, go out there and by yourself have a 4-minute walk and write down everything you did wrong and everything you did right, and how are you going to be prepared next time for the next recession. And I did that, and I said, I know what I'm going to do. I have to go out there and produce. I have to lead my agents by example and show them that I could produce And if I show them that I could produce, that's going to make everybody produce.
Yeah.
Our revenue tripled right away.
Yeah.
So COVID, I want to thank you if you're watching this for tripling our revenue, and now it's more closer to 5x, 5 times because of this COVID. Why? Because this COVID shut down for us all our competitors. So our competitors all surrendered, quit, and stayed at home because their leader told them, you can't work, you got to stay at home. And because they watched the news and they got scared. So they're all out of business pretty much, or close to that. They're like those, like when you spray the Raid Max on the roaches, you know how they're kind of like crawling?
Yeah.
They're all like that. And when they
Yeah.
open the businesses again, they're going to be playing catch up, and the momentum is lost. We haven't lost our momentum. We're not even surviving. We are thriving. So that, as a leader, I think that transformed all the energy to our people, and we just took off. And someone said, when in moments of contraction, expand. And I didn't see them doing that right now. A lot of those people that have said that they didn't really follow that. And what I did is, hey, I'm a little guy, but when people are letting go of their employees, when people are contracting, I'm going to expand, and I'm going to use all my resources to grow. And we tripled our revenue, and now it's going to be closer to 5x. And it's all because I think our environment and our culture does not tolerate us being scared. And then there's 2 things that I remembered, I thought about. Am I going to die of the coronavirus, or am I going to die of being broke? And I said, I'd rather die of the coronavirus, but have some money. And that's what we did. And it just...
Also, guys, something really important. No matter what, the government, it's also election time. They'll be over in November. Like, remember that you are the creator of your own life. So you can go and research your own stuff. It's like if they're telling you COVID is 99.9% survivable, and it doesn't matter if you're elderly or young or whatnot. If you're sick, you have a weak immune system because you don't eat the right foods. You eat processed food all the time. You don't take care of your body. How can your immune system fight off any kind of disease? Not just COVID or the flu. Like, so many people die from the flu. It's not even funny. And people don't look at this. They're just looking at the news. And whatever you're listening to, your reactive mind is storing it. So it's very hard to unlearn everything we've learned. And now I feel like people are waking up. You know, you have access to real people, social media. Nobody can... I mean, the government does unpost, and I know YouTube, they take a lot of things down, they censor them. But what does that tell you? I have people that work in hospitals that are like, no, we're not busy at all. Like, people that work there are confused. You know, so it's things that you have to understand, that you have to do your own research and trust your instinct. Like, don't just go with whatever people are telling you. No tengo que estar tan cerca de esto, ¿verdad? Don't go with what people are telling you, because remember, people that are scared are very easy to control. And this is it's always been like this. So just be mindful and understand that you could do your part and get healthy, eat better, you know, live a happy life. Like, nobody can work hard. This question here, what helped you guys in the beginning stages in the business together? We worked our butts off. From the time we woke up till the time we went to sleep, we worked our butts off. No party, no work, nothing was more important than our business and our clients. I'm not saying don't go to those parties, but like, if you're gonna go to your niece's birthday for the 10th time, it's not gonna be any different than 8, 9. And if you have an appointment, go to your appointment and then show up to the party. You know, just priorities are so important, guys. And you have to understand that you could do more. You could do 20, 30, 40 things in one day.
And something to add to that, because I want to get to this question soon.
Yeah, go.
You don't want to be a dumb hard worker. There's a lot of dumb hard workers, meaning they go to work at 7 and they leave anything after everybody left, but they're broke. And then you have the people that work long and smart. So there's a difference between thinking you're working hard because you're calling people that don't answer, you're sending DMs to people that are not customers, you're just sitting there learning and learning and learning and not executing, that's working stupid. You want to work long, but you want to work smart. If you work smart and then long hours, you're going to get so much done. And that's what we do. Like, I wake up, from the moment I wake up, whether it's a day in advance or at 5 a.m.
Okay, but tell them what happens when you wake up at 2 a.m. You're crashing like at 6, so don't act dumb.
Yeah, but it's
and
still
I'm
18
still
hours.
awake.
It's
I'm
still
still
18 hours.
okay.
It's still 18 hours. And guess what you could do in the mornings when nobody's awake? You could have focused better. Okay, you could focus, and guess what? Your first 8 hours of the day, you have more energy because you slept. So when you're up all night till like 2 a.m. sending emails, your brain ain't working that good because it's dead. You've been answering phone calls and talking to a lot of people, so no matter what you say, you're not rested. When you're rested, you're fresh. Okay,
everybody's different. You just have to understand what works for you, no matter of what anybody else tells you.
After 18 hours of being awake, who's gonna work like if you just woke up with nice rest? Yeah.
Well, I would never wake up at 2. No, thank you. Like, don't even talk to me at that time. Qué flojera.
You used to when we met.
No.
You used to go pick me up at 3
a.m.
3 a.m. for the gym. Yeah, because I used to tell you we have to be the
5 a.m. I would wake up at 5.
See, what she realizes
He's so dramatic.
This is in my sales tactics in my Driven Academy. I used to have her pick me up at 3 a.m. so that we could nap before going inside to the gym. And it was one of my closing tactics. But more information, it's too much to talk about right here on
Answer
this
that
live.
question so I can go to this one.
What kind of, this is from Yesenia and Johnny from my coaching.
Aww.
What kind of relationship do you have with your parents? How often do you see them? What kind of relationship do you have with them when you're so focused on your business? Maybe you answer it first and then I'll answer mine.
So we're very selective on who we spend time with. And obviously our parents are very important because you never know how long they're going to be here. And there's nothing worse than, especially the people that are just like partying all weekend. Like, what about your parents? We're working 24/7, like literally. It's absolutely insane. From the minute we wake up till we go to sleep, and then I gotta juggle my kids in that mix. But I spend at least one whole day, Saturday or Sunday, it just depends, with my mom and my grandma, and I Uber them here, and then that's how it goes. And then sometimes I'm like, shit, can I run to the office for like 2 hours? And they take care of my kids. So, you just have to make everything work, guys. Like, you got to get rid of the excuses. That's it. It's that simple. And make time for the people that you really love. Not like the friends that you think you have to hang out with. Like the people that are truly important to you. And everybody, that's different for everybody. Some of you don't have your parents around and you wish you spent more time with them. So identify those people and make time for them.
Like, this is going to sound a little bit...
selfish.
Yeah, selfish and kind of cruel. But I have to schedule the times that I'm going to... or my meetings with my dad, my mom, and my brother. I have to schedule. I didn't before. Before I used to think, oh, well, it's normal and I have to spend weekends with family. I have to spend time with my high school buddies, my college buddies, the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And that kept me down. Like, sometimes your parents your parents are always going to love you. But sometimes you need to focus on yourself before you could help them. You need to learn. Yeah. You need to hang out with people like Ed Milet, like Patrick Bet-David, like Bobby Castro, because they're going to teach you, like the billionaire that lives here. That's why we live here and we pay $20,000 a month to rent, because we're going to meet a lot of people here that are going to help us here. And it's going to allow us to make more money to take care of our kids, because now we have kids. And then that's going to allow us to help our parents, our parents get a 4-unit apartment, to help our parents to be able to get them cars, to be able to help them when they get sick. So if you are so busy, it's weekend, it's time to hang out with our family for barbecues. Mm-hmm. It's not, you have to kind of
schedule it out.
Now we have to schedule it, but maybe if you spend Saturday and Sunday with people like that, maybe spend Sunday with them. Yeah. And then Saturday, focus on getting better. Yeah. How am I going to learn something new today? How am I going to fix something in my business? How am I going to get another investment property? Yeah. Like, so you have to be, and that's the same thing that I learned this from Ed Milet, by the way. Ed Milet and a few other people that do the same thing, but you just have to be very, very, very selective with your minute, because every minute is unrefundable. You can't get a minute back.
Yes.
So if you've spent a minute with a dumbass, you just lost that minute.
Yeah.
But if you spend a minute with somebody that's going to help you get better, you just improved yourself in that minute. So be very selective with every single minute.
But also, if I want to add this to you guys, for the ones that have kids, see, like Albert and I, we work so hard, and I always feel like I have to run to my office, and I'm like, no, like I have all of you here. This is what we have to do. Everybody knows what they have to do. I'm big on that. I don't like babysitting, and I'm like, I have 2 kids. So Italia on Monday, what did she tell us? She was like, can you guys stay home with me today? Like,
no, well, Monday.
That was Monday.
Monday, I woke up like around 5, close to 5.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of noise.
Italia woke up.
I always make noise when I wake up. And then I was leaving. I was trying to like not make noise, and she gets up and she's like, no, wait for me. I'm going with you. So she always wakes up like around 6, but she woke up at 5, and she follows me. She always likes to, I mean, I have my morning activities. You don't
Routines.
like me to talk about all the details.
No, I don't.
But she likes to follow me into the restroom and chill there with me and bring all
with
her
her
toys
iPad
as I'm doing my morning business. And then she told me, Papa, please don't go to work today. I want you to stay home with me. So
we stayed home
I
with her.
worked so hard to get to this to this point where I could be like, okay, I'm gonna stay here with you today. And we work from home. I've been finishing my book because I added another chapter for the COVID. So the last chapter is going to be the COVID, about the COVID, how I dealt with it, and how I had big wins during this COVID. So I stayed with my daughter, and nothing makes me more happier.
He loves it
than spending time with Italia.
I mean, I do too.
She's
but
my
obsessed
my
with
first
her.
daughter, but she's so much alike me, and she's just it's beautiful when us 3 are together, just me, Syl, Italia, and Berlin.
The 4 of us.
Yeah.
That's 4.
That's what I said.
No, you said the 3 of us.
I said 4.
So anyway, guys, and also remember that whatever works for you and for your family, don't let anybody tell you like, oh, that's not the way. Like, you want to stay away from all those people. Like, we do what works for us, literally. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Unless I ask you for your opinion, I research. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want for my kids. Like, I don't really research until I cross a bridge. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, vaccines. And I'm like, look, I have stories for days on that. I have a lot of clients. I know a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses. And there's a reason why registered nurses and people like that don't vaccinate their kids, you know, and I don't want to get into that because I know it's a very sensitive topic and we'll probably leave it for another time, but you don't have to be so smart. I've met a lot of people that are vaccine injured, and doctors, just like they're all human, just like all of us. We all make mistakes. There's days we don't feel good. Just understand that you got to get through your day. You got to get rid of the excuses and just do what works for you, like what works for us. There was a question here. I thought it was so funny. Did you see it?
Go for it. We have 13 minutes.
Okay, 13-minute, guys.
And by the
you're
way,
not even crossing them out. How are we supposed to know?
By the way, everybody that's watching this, we're gonna save this full recording. We have like camera set up, everything behind us, so it's gonna be professionally nice, edited, and we're gonna save it, private link, and it's gonna be available for you guys only. So,
Syl, ¿cómo le haces para que las mujeres no le falten el
we'll answer it in
respeto,
Spanish.
coquetear a tu
Spanish speakers.
esposo? So let me tell you what. I don't care.
What was that?
Oh, like when girls flirt with you, like, I don't care. Like, I know you love me. I trust you 1,000%. Even if he looks at girls, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, damn, she's pretty hot. Like, is her butt real? Like, we're like checking girls out together. And in Puerto Rico, we have a 10-second rule, right? It's 10-second rule to look at girls.
It was 15.
No, 10-second rule, because that's a lot. 10 seconds is a lot to like look at a girl, right? You just kind of want to figure out like, is her butt real or not? So anyway, I love.
Well, sometimes
beautiful.
I feel like when I look at a girl for like 1 second, like you get mad.
Don't lie.
So 10 seconds would be like
in Puerto Rico
horrifying
only,
for you.
not in California. Here it's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, look away.
3 seconds would be way too long.
I mean, when somebody's beautiful. Like you want to look at that person, and it's like, unless you're like a pervert that's like getting them naked while you're looking at them, that I would never allow, because then you'd be disrespecting me. But like, I see girls at Equinox, and I'm like,
what's the
damn,
line?
like how do people get like that?
So what's the
Cuesta
rule?
mucho trabajo.
Like, so are you supposed to
Like
only
3
look
seconds.
at one part or?
Well, you could be disrespectful, or you could simply admire beauty.
But you said you have a 10-second rule.
In
so,
Puerto Rico.
Okay, so does that mean that for 10 seconds I'm
Don't
gonna be
you
looking
remember
at
that girl in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, but for 10 seconds, am I only gonna check out one part?
Whatever you want, but don't be a pervert.
So what's a pervert? Checking out 2 parts?
No, a pervert is when you're going like this to a girl.
Well, that's checking 2 parts.
Babe, no te hagas el menso. Anyway, ignore him, girls. So I really don't care, because I know he loves me. I love him. And at the end of the day, I try very hard to take care of myself. And I also know that I always do my best. And yes, sometimes I mess up. And yes, sometimes, like probably today, I'll have like another glass, and then I'll be...
She loves champagne.
I love champagne, but it gets me really buzzed.
And guys, like this is probably like maybe the only day we'll drink this week.
Yeah, no more.
And until maybe Sunday or something like that. So like, we're disciplined. Like the what she says, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And at the same time, we don't want to be miserable. Like, we don't want to be like those workout people that have their containers, like it's almost like cat food, and they're so limited on what they could eat. They can't eat that. And they have mood swings, and some of them are injecting themselves with stuff. And I don't want to be that, meathead or whatever. I want to have everything that I like and that I work hard for. So I feel like everybody should be able to do what makes you happy. Like, yeah. I'm not against anything that makes you happy. So like, we're happy, we're making the most money we've made, our businesses are growing.
How hard do we work? How much harder than ever?
18 hours a day. 18
Crazy.
Hours a day, 7 times a week. Even in our days that Sundays we're working. But when I tell Italia, I'm gonna give you, like when Italia wakes up and she runs to me, I put my phone down and I take like a 40-minute break. And then I spend those 40 minutes looking at her in the eye, because worst thing you could do is be texting somebody when your daughter is talking to you. Because that's right. Telling your daughter that she's not as important than your phone. So when she wakes up at 6, it's not going to cost me anything if I put my phone down at 6 and give her those 40 minutes. And if she wants to sit there next to me and have a conversation, I'll do that. If she wants me to play with her with those little Hatchimals, I'll play with the Hatchimals.
Yeah. So
like and then after those 40 minutes, she gets tired of me. And then Nanny comes, and then she's like, Nanny.
Yeah.
And then then now I could get back to my business. So it's quality time. Like when I'm sure for those of you that are parents, when you were creating the baby, you weren't on your phone texting as you were creating the baby. You were focused on creating the baby. So like, focus on what you're doing. Focus on
You're so stupid. He loves talking about sex, by the way. I'm like, are you horny? Like, do you want to get laid really quick?
Well, people can't see your side angle.
Oh, you could.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So one more question from the Zoom, and then we'll wrap this up.
Something that has helped improve your overall relationship: we let each other be. Like, even though he gets on my nerves sometimes, it's actually almost every day you get on my nerves. But, like, I respect him. I respect what he does. I trust him. I know he's always going to take care of us. I work really hard, like, more than ever. Isn't it kind of crazy? And it's like, we just need more and more and more help, because we're doing so much more. But we have an amazing team.
But I think the definition of working hard
is working smart.
One of my friends said, he's like one of my best friends, Brad Lee. He said, it's not working hard, it's working smart and long.
Yeah.
So long hours, but smart.
Prioritizing.
Not working, because some people confuse working hard means that you're at the office at 7 and you leave at 9 p.m.
You have to be productive,
but
guys.
then you can't even close. Like, we had many of those people. They couldn't close, what do they call it? They couldn't close a screen door
if their life
their mama and papa's life depended on it. They're just that bad.
Yeah.
But they get there at 7 and they leave there at 9
But you
p.m.
have to make sure that
What's
you're
the point of that?
improving, you're self-improving, and that you have to do as a couple if you want to grow together. Like I said, you don't have to be in the same business, and we got a lot of like finance issues.
Well,
we do have separate bank accounts, and then we have bank accounts together, for the record.
So this question from Lily Flores from Zoom: how do you deal with toxic in-laws that don't understand I run my business from my phone?
You cut them short.
So like Sam asked me this one time. If you guys know Sam Bakhtiar, you guys should follow him. He's one of my friends, close friends. And he asked me, Albert, what do you do with toxic family members? And I told him, you get your best pair of running shoes, and you just sprint away from them and avoid them at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they're family, like get rid of them. One more question, and then we could wrap this up. How do you guys
when it got good.
How do you guys keep yourself with positive distractions? I love positive distractions. One of them is the fitness challenge. Maybe you could add to that.
The fitness challenge.
So how do you distract people positively so that they stop going to bar hops?
Well, right now we can't go to bar hops, so everybody's focused on production.
Actually the COVID is a positive distraction.
For our business, it didn't really affect us. If the counties would have got shut, that's when we were like, oh shit, then it would have been affecting us. So
but the COVID was a positive distraction because it's distracting us from going to Nobu. It's distracting us from going to Disneyland. It's distracting us from having our our parties where everybody drinks and gets drunk. So it's forcing us to work. The only thing we could do right now is work.
Yeah.
And we can't even go to gyms.
That's right.
So
we've been working out at home. I do stairs almost every day, which is insane, but it's a good thing because I was going crazy. Our gym is back out. So slowly everything's getting back to normal.
So for example, what we created right now is a positive distraction by creating a fitness challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we created a fitness challenge where we're giving away, I think it's like $6,000 cash. Not a lot of money, but to some people it might be a lot of money, especially right now. But we created that fitness challenge because those $6,000 or what, maybe I'm off by a little bit, but those $6,000 that we are going to pay as company owners, that is going to create more closings. So in other words, they're going to be distracted by working out and trying to win that, get those abs and all that stuff. And what is that going to do? That's going to distract them from drinking, from eating junk food, from going to hanging out with their buds that are going to tempt them to, hey, let's have a beer, bro. It's going to distract them from that. So if they can't drink, they can't go out, they can't do this, it's going to force them to work. So they're going to be distracted by working more. It's going to create more revenue for the company. And those 6,000 or whatever they are, it's not even going to, it's going to turn into a good investment. And they're going to win that. And it's going to create healthy people in our environment, in our company. And we're going to be that much ahead of all the other people. All our competitors, when they try to get back in business in August, when we open or whenever it is, they're going to be like playing catch up. And momentum is going to be gone. And once you leave that momentum, you can't get it back. It's like almost impossible to get it back. Because even if you if you get started again, the people that never let go of that momentum are going to be so much ahead. And it's like game over. So COVID was actually a positive distraction to us. The fitness challenge is a positive distraction to us. So that's what we've been doing. And
how do we stay happy? A lot of people ask me that.
By creating
money.
Creating
we're
focused.
And also, guys, super important, I recommend all my couples, if you've been together for a long time, your parents, remember that you can get lost in the day-to-day. So what did you enjoy doing before you had kids? What has changed? And
which could be this answer for you.
What is
this
it?
Question for you: does money change the way you are? I know you know how to answer that pretty good.
So it's not that it changes the way you are. I feel like money exposes whatever whatever kind of person you are, money is going to simply enhance it. And if you're a good person, good things are always going to happen to you. If you genuinely care about people and want to help people, good things will always come your way. That's the way the universe works. And you just have to be a good person, right? There's way too many shitty people. I always say this. People that don't care about anybody else but themselves. And we always help people, but also it's like 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, come talk to me when you're serious. Nobody's going to save you. You have to commit and do the steps, follow the steps. Do the things you say you're going to do. Like, don't be that person that's like, I'll be there at 5, and then they never show up. And it's like, you didn't even text me or nothing. It becomes a habit. So, but him and I, like, we like going for drives together. Like, obviously we can't go on dates.
Oh, let's talk about the drive we went to Bel Air, because I promised you some. But before that, pick one person that we could unmute so that they could ask us a question live to end this this whole thing. So just text, and then you could just activate it right there as you answer that. But remember, we went to Bel Air to look at properties, because every single thing we've accomplished, we have casted a vision. What does casted a vision mean? Is when you tell the world that you are going to get a Ferrari in 3 years and you get it in 2 months. When you tell the world that I'm going to get her pregnant and it takes me 8 months, but I do it. I mean, it took me 8 months to take you on a date. So when I told people I'm going to make this girl mine, and it didn't matter what
He's super persistent.
What she had planned or what her intentions were at the time. Like I said, I'm going to get this girl. And it took me 8 months, but I casted that vision and I made it happen.
You just got to keep trying until
you
get there.
When you cast a vision, you say, I'm going to do this. You tell the world, and then people are like, why are you saying that? And it's because now you have all that responsibility and you have all that pressure to make it happen, because you already said you're going to make it happen.
That's right. That's right. You got to stay committed, guys. Get smarter. Surround yourself with better people. This is, I'll leave you guys with this because I don't know how much time we have, but somebody once told me this, very successful person. Have you guys ever seen a bucket full of crabs? Those little crabs that they're like trying to get out and they almost get out, pero luego los jalan. And that's what people do to you. And it's like, do you want to be better? I'm not saying that all your friends have to be rich at all. You have to understand that the people you surround yourself, that's going to determine your mindset, your choices, and the life you're going to have. Him and I, we're like, work is number one. Now, obviously, our kids, but we've always like worked so hard. Like I always tell people this, and he's super brave and crazy and courageous. So he's done a lot of crazy shit that I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like we can go on and on and on and on and on. But we have our own money and separate money. Because I like to have my own stuff. I'm like, I work so hard. Like, you have to have your own things. I'm like, what if I want to buy him a $20,000 gift? Like, you need your own bank account for that. You can't be like, hey, babe, I need 20 grand. And then, oh, wait, shit. But it's a gift for you. So you have to have your own things. And then things joined. Like properties, stuff like that. So companies, things. ¿Qué más? That I need another glass, but it has to be off camera.
You got it, Steph? I sure do. You could just maybe flip it like that and do it really quick and then flip it back. And then we could.
Also, guys, ladies, men, you have to understand that you don't own your spouse. You have to let them be. I feel like so many people want to control each other, and it just doesn't work like that. I'm like, he can't. If I say I'm going to do this, he cannot stop me, because that's what I want to do. It's going to make me happy, and vice versa. Like, we don't ever, like, if he wants to go do his thing, I'm like, bye. See you later.
Put the volume up too.
Hasta luego.
So David is on.
Right, David, can you speak up?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, David?
How are you as well? How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
So, I just had a question. What's a good way, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a good way to start a relationship, like, in a strong way? Like, what would you guys recommend?
You definitely have to be very like-minded, as in you can't be totally opposite and totally like you have to, this person has to be your best friend, because you're literally going to go do life with them, right? So it can't be someone that's totally opposite, maybe someone that has a lot of issues, because you can't change people unless they really want to change. it's very hard to change somebody. A lot of the time, something really crazy has to happen for the person really to change. And it has to be someone that likes the same things you like. Like, you can't go your whole life. Like, when you start dating somebody, you're going to do things you don't like for them. It ain't going to be forever. So you have to have definitely the same interests. And you do have to be super attracted to one another, obviously. What else would you say?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one. You have to be attracted, because if you're not attracted to the person, it's not going to last. But I think one big thing is both being competitors. So I've never met a girl that has the competitiveness that she has. Like, a lot of girls that I dated, they weren't competitive. They were just like, I got a little bit fluffy. It's okay. Oh, I don't want to go hiking. And you know what? A lot of younger girls. I mean, for me, just speaking as a guy, a lot of younger girls are like, I could get away with that. But once they start aging, their metabolism is not the same.
Yeah.
So then they
or the guys, for the record.
Yeah, the guys too. There's a lot of guys. But I'm just speaking as a man to a man. But these girls don't want to do that. And for me, like, she was the first one that was like, oh, I'll go hike 100 degrees outside. I'm gonna go hike Runyon Canyon. It's gonna be hot, and it's not thrilling. Most girls told me, hey, go do your workouts, go work, and just pick me up after you're done, and let's go out and drink and have sex. And that was good. It was a lot of fun, but it's not everlasting. And and if you compete together, like, she's really competitive. Like, even though, like, most of the times I beat her, like, in sports and athletic stuff.
I beat him in basketball once, though. You remember that? One time. He's right. Yeah. Be honest. One time. Somehow.
I give her that, but yeah, like, I kind of I mean, she beat me, yeah. but yeah, like, it takes, like, I don't want to say this, but I have to say it. You're probably gonna have to go through, like, hundreds of dates to find that special one, but you might find that special one now. And the biggest advice I could give you is that you have to be ethical. Like I am committed to her 100%. I will never risk her relationship or my daughter's, because you could imagine a young guy like me here driving Ferraris, Rolls Royces, and being in one of the hottest cities here in California.
I'm like, oh, hi, yes, like, you're looking at my husband.
I get a lot of attention from those females, but I am committed. I am committed to her, and the way I see her is, she is my best friend. Would you ever hurt your best friend? And the answer is no. I would never hurt my best friend. Yeah. I would never want to betray him and hurt my best friend's feelings. So she's my best friend, and if I would never hurt my best friend, why would I cheat on her? Why would I try to do unethical things? So when you I believe a lot in karma, so I know if I do the right thing for her, for my daughters, I can never look at my daughters in their eyes and pretend to be somebody I'm not. I can't look at same thing, ethics with our company. I can't lie to them because I can't look at them in the eyes. So I think being super ethical, and when you find a great woman, like, save her forever, because they're really hard to come by. And same goes to all the women. When you find a great man, because there's a lot of crazy idiot men outside, keep him. So I think when I think we have that bond where I'm her best friend and she's my best friend, and our kids are like our
little treasures.
Creation. So we'll never risk any of that for anything.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. So really, really excited about this. We're gonna do this every Wednesday at 7. We're gonna save this recording for all of you. And one thing that I ask from you guys is if you guys can send me DMs, text me, just comment and just send us emails, whatever. Contact Steph and tell us how we could improve this, what you want to see. This is something that we're gonna do for free. And we're gonna do it every Wednesday, and it's not necessarily for couples. If you're single and maybe you're thinking about having a girlfriend, having a boyfriend, getting married or whatever, like, it's for everybody. But it's mainly for couples. That's what this is our topic. But we could talk about anything. But really appreciate all of you, everything that I said today, and everything we're gonna keep saying in these driven couples every Wednesday at 7. It's going to come from my heart. We're going to be real, transparent,
Yeah.
and we're just doing this because we want to help you guys, and we have a really, really, really giving heart.
And because people will always try to, like, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but people try to give you advice, and I'm like, well, I'm not asking for it. And, like, they want to say, don't do this. Don't sleep with your kids at this age. Don't do that. Like, let people do whatever works for them. Like, stop judging everybody. Like, we're all different, right? We all have different goals in life. And at the end of the day, you do want to be good with your spouse, because think about it. Your kids depend on you. You want to have happy, successful kids. So you can't shatter their reality by fighting in front of them. Like, he does get on my nerves sometimes, and I'm like, okay, I'll like stop. Like, we're not going to do this right now. And I had a really long day, because we both have crazy days. And, like, Italia hears everything. It's crazy. And we do what works for us. Like, I don't care what people say. I used to take my kids out to like, restaurants, and she'd be in the booth, and that works for me. You know, you don't have to listen to everything that everybody always says. What works for you? Have your goals in place, love each other, trust each other, be ethical, and you're just going to work really hard, and your life will just get better and better and better. I always say that. Since I met him, my life, our life together, every year has been better than the last, for a lot of different reasons, which we can tap into that later.
And to close it out, like,
and we have a lot of fun together, because he's crazy.
How many heart attacks have I battled though?
A couple.
And so if you want to be an entrepreneur,
Get
it's
ready.
probably going to be the hardest thing you ever do in your life, but it's going to be also the most rewarding thing you'll do in your life. So
Yeah.
I love entrepreneurship. I would never change it for anything, but it is going to get very, very tough, and it's going to be probably the highest level of pain you'll ever feel.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. And if I wouldn't have taken all that pain and kind of hid it from my wife, because I don't want to stress her out, and I know I could take that pain,
Even though I knew the whole time.
money
I was
wise,
like, shit.
decisions wise, if it wouldn't be for that, I wouldn't have all the people that are part of the company today, and we wouldn't be here where we are today, and our
Yeah.
people that are part of our company wouldn't have the life that they have today. So thank you guys, appreciate you, and please send me messages,
Love you
send her
guys.
messages, follow us on Instagram and send us messages, and we'll be here back next Wednesday.
And remember,
you.
your life is what you make it.